In the ancient land of Uz, there lived a man whose story of faith has echoed through the ages. His name was Job. He was a man of complete integrity, a pillar of his community, honest, kind, and deeply devoted to God. His life was a picture of perfect blessing. He had a large, loving family with 7 sons and 3 daughters, who brought him immense joy. His wealth was legendary, with thousands of sheep, camels, oxen, and donkeys. He lived in peace, respected by all, a life that seemed untouched by sorrow. But high in the heavens, a conversation was taking place that would change everything. The accuser, Satan, stood before God and presented a challenge. He argued that Job's faithfulness was not genuine. He claimed Job only served God because he was blessed with so much. "Does Job fear God for nothing?" the accuser sneered. "Stretch out your hand and touch everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." God, knowing Job's heart, allowed this test to proceed, not to destroy Job, but to reveal the unshakable depth and purity of his faith for all to see. The storm of tragedy broke with terrifying speed. In a single, devastating day, messenger after messenger arrived, each bearing news more horrific than the last. Maroda stole his oxen and donkeys and killed his servants. Fire fell from the sky and consumed his sheep and their shepherds. Raiders swept in and carried off his camels, slaughtering more of his people. And then, the final, soul-crushing blow, a mighty wind collapsed the house where his children were feasting, and all 10 were killed. Job was shattered. He tore his robe and shaved his head in grief. But as he fell to the ground, through the agony and tears, he whispered the immortal words, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." But the test wasn't over. The accuser struck again, this time afflicting Job's own body with painful, agonizing sores from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. He sat in ashes, scraping his wounds with a piece of broken pottery. Even his wife, in her despair, told him to curse God and die. Then, his 3 friends arrived. For 7 days, they sat with him in silence, overwhelmed by his suffering. But when they finally spoke, their words were not of comfort, but of condemnation. They insisted he must have committed some secret, terrible sin to deserve such punishment. Job, however, maintained his innocence. He cried out to God, his soul filled with confusion, anguish, and a desperate longing for answers. He questioned why he was born. He lamented his suffering, but through it all, he never renounced his faith. He never turned his back on God. Then, out of a mighty, swirling whirlwind, God himself answered Job. He didn't offer simple explanations for Job's suffering. Instead, he revealed his own immense power and divine wisdom. "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me, if you understand. Who marked off its dimensions? Who shut up the sea behind doors? Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades? Can you loosen Orion's belt? Do you give the horse its strength or clothe its neck with a flowing mane?" God's questions put everything into perspective, reminding Job that the universe is vast and complex, and human understanding is profoundly limited compared to the mind of its creator. Humbled and in absolute awe, Job recognized the greatness of God and the smallness of his own perspective. He covered his mouth and replied, "Surely I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know." He repented, not for a sin that caused his suffering, but for his pride in questioning God's justice. In that moment of surrender, his faith, refined by fire, shone brighter than any storm. God then rebuked Job's friends for misrepresenting him and restored Job's fortunes, blessing him with twice as much as he had before. He gave him another 7 sons and 3 daughters. And Job lived a long, full life, seeing his children and their children for 4 generations. The story of Job is a powerful reminder for all of us. It teaches us that faith isn't about having an easy, comfortable life, free from pain. True faith is forged in the fires of adversity and tested in the storms we endure. It's about trusting God's sovereign wisdom, even when we can't see his plan. In our darkest moments, when all seems lost and our questions go unanswered, we can hold on to the hope that God is still in control, working all things for a purpose far greater than we can imagine. Thanks for watching. If this story touched you, please like and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of faith.